the real reason why I only train female sales reps. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am answering probably one of my most asked questions. I get messages from guys all the time asking to work with me, which is obviously very kind and I appreciate that a lot. And I've been asked by a few of my clients and a few women overall actually, like, why only women? Why do you do that? So I'm going to break it down and unpack it with you today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Shelley. I started off in the high ticket sales space as a closer where I took my income from 0 to 38k a month, transitioned to management, built 1 million sales teams, and now have my own female sales accelerator program where I teach women how to get in and thrive within high ticket sales. So let's get into it. So really, going back to the beginning of my journey, when I got into the sales space, there were no female-only sales training programs, literally whatsoever. There was only male training programs, male-led. And yes, there were some women in those training programs. Overall, it was all very masculine dominated. So when I got into the space, I actually felt very alone and very isolated. I joined a male training program, which now is male only. But when I joined, there was like one other girl in it. And that was it. And to be quite honest, although that program was fantastic, I was super scared to ask questions. Every time there was live coaching calls, I'd feel petrified logging on with me being the only girl and there'd been like 30 other guys in the Zoom room. And I just didn't feel like I fit in. Like everyone was networking with each other, building connections, and I was like the odd one out. Not that I made myself the odd one out. I tried to immerse myself as much as I could, but at the end of the day, in my opinion, women are different to men, and most people agree with that as well. I think, it's just different. We connect with people different. We support each other different. It is just different. We have different emotions, different highs, different lows, whatnot. And I didn't truly have that like female support system. I was very much alone in the space. And I was on an offer with a couple women, so that was a nice change. But when it came to like me training and me wanting to develop myself, it was me in a man's world pretty much. And I didn't feel comfortable. And I really, really wanted to create a safe space for more women because, as you know, I talk about this all the time. There is so much potential for women in sales. There is so much women can get out of this industry. And I wanted to create an environment where women could come together, where women could support each other, uplift each other, work together to really build their dream lives. I've also found with my experience both teaching men and women in a management capacity that men and women just handle things differently, and women do need different support systems and different mindset training and different guidance. And again, I felt for me, I had the very masculine approach of this is how men sell and this is what you have to do, and the very much the hustle culture. And when creating the Female Sales Accelerator, yes, of course, I wanted to display that you have to work hard and there's that level of hustle to it, if you will, but there is a different way and there is a different system and mechanisms and processes that a woman can implement so she doesn't feel burnt out and that she can feel aligned. And I honestly personally think when you mix men and women together in that capacity, there's an off balance. If we're really wanting to learn how to sell in our feminine energy, if we're really wanting to, I guess, be our most softest, relaxed, at peace version, then it's bringing women together in a room and not mixing it. And maybe I'm biased. I went to an all-girls school and I've heard horror stories of some of my friends outside who went to mixed schools and how, I can't think of the word, it's not collaboration, it's like how the energy was thrown off and there was chaos and there was all these different things. And I truly believe that's because young people, men and women, were mixed together, and I don't believe that's the best. And for me, with my personal experience, I went to an all-girls school and Of course, there's always going to be negatives with any, school growing up when you're young and you're kids, but there was always that, what's the word? There was always that alignment. There was always that support system, that genuine connection between women, between girls. I think there's such a huge part to play in that when you really put together like-minded women. So yeah, in a nutshell, for me, I've always experienced that growing up. I think it did wonders for myself growing up, and I've noticed a huge difference between me being in a male-only program to me now having the Female Sales Accelerator, and how much and how fast these women flourish because they feel safe. Another reason why I only work with women is because men and women fundamentally sell different. In my opinion, the approach that a woman needs to take in sales is going to be different from a man, and a man cannot replicate that. I see some men selling female-only sales training, and there's no shade to that, but in my opinion, I have no idea how they're doing that, because they will never understand what it's like to be a woman and how we regulate emotions and how we can use our EQ, our emotional intelligence to really connect, nurture, and build trust. A man will never understand that to the capacity that a woman can. And I think it's really, really important to have an environment where you can really hone in and really fine-tune that, because that is the connection. That is what makes women elite in this space. It's really having that regulated nervous system, really understanding the questions and the support and the feeling needed to be able to guide someone. For example, we do a lot of call reviews within my program on live calls. We pull up my old calls and we break them down together. And it's an exercise that I use to really build sales EQ. So I'll basically play a section of the call, I'll pause it, and I'll get the group to volunteer and speak out loud of why I said a certain thing, why I did that, what I missed, what that triggered, what are we noticing within the prospect. And I'm not saying men are incapable of that by any means, no shade to men out there, but women just need that environment to really build that natural instinct. And that's something, in my opinion, a man can't recognize, and something a woman really needs to hone in on, which is what we practice a lot. It's almost like building a muscle in the gym. We really, really need to fine tune it so it becomes just your natural sales intuition. And that is something we focus massively on within the TFSA, and something that I'd never even heard about before. That's something that I've really learnt myself and taught myself. And now I'm able to pass on to women. But men just, in my opinion, from what I've learnt from the industry, just wouldn't know how to sell in that way. Another reason for me is, honestly, there was a massive gap in the market for a woman to teach sales the feminine way. No one was doing it when I got into the industry as a coach, and no one was doing it when I was closing or setting before that either. And I felt so passionately about that, and I truly feel the reason we get the results we do within the TFSA, and the reason we bring together so many amazing women, is because the journey that I'm on and the journey that these women are now on is so authentic to us. We're not trying to sell some gimmick. I'm not just trying to create the program just to sell as many women as I can to make quick money. For me, this is so personal. And for me, this is so much more than just selling people into a program and how many thousands of women we can get. Me, I always say, I don't want to work with thousands of women. I want to work with the right women. And to be able to give women a platform and a safe environment where they can not only hone their intuition and what feels right for them, but also then leverage that to build their dream lives and their dream income, is absolutely unmatched. So when I was really honing in how I sell in my feminine energy, and I saw the power that gave to me, it was an absolute no-brainer that I needed to spread the word, honestly, and to share this with as many women as I possibly could, to give back to them. And like I always say, if I can just have one woman do what I've done, happy days. Obviously, I've helped a lot more than one woman at this stage. But yeah, there was a huge gap in the market for someone to really show how you could sell in an aligned way and really see success with it. I'm not talking about sitting at your laptop selling for 3 hours on the beach. That's a lie. That's marketing. I'm talking about a really aligned way for women who aren't shy of hard work, who want that career change, but want that freedom and abundance that sales can give you. And then last but not least, selfishly, it's so much more rewarding for me. The biggest difference I've seen and the most fulfillment I get is the confidence that my ladies, my clients build. To see them on day one coming into the program, to even see them 60 days later, it's like doing a 180. The confidence in themselves, in their ability, in what's possible, how they communicate, how they articulate, how they show up, how they present themselves, how they carry themselves. It is night and day. And I've been on that personal journey myself, and it has changed my life. So when I get to see that unfold for so many amazing women from so many different backgrounds, different countries, different ethnicities, different languages, yeah, I'm sure you can feel like, I get a bit emotional talking about it. I'm sure you can feel that. Like, it's incredible. It is incredible. It's like nothing else I could have ever experienced. And for me, my purpose is like through the roof. This is what I was always meant to do. So yeah, selfishly, it is an absolute honor, and it fulfills me every single day to be able to change women's lives and to be able to facilitate that. And they always say, you've done this for me, but I'm like, no, I provided you the platform, but you've done the hard work. So to be able to facilitate that transformation is unmatched. So yes, I am so glad I really decided to stick to my gut and block out the noise when deciding if I should work with men or women, or men and women, when I started my coaching program. To be quite honest with you, when I first started my coaching program, there was multiple men in my inbox ready to pay in full then and there. And it would have been so easy to take the money. It would have been so easy to make, a few thousand from selling to men and just having that immediate gratification. But I refused them. And I said, that's just not aligned with me. And I'm so grateful that I decided to do that. And of course I did. Like, that is me through and through. Like I've said, I'm not here to, make as much money as possible just by selling people. Like, I genuinely see this as such a purpose and more than just a coaching program. It is a transformation. So yeah, I'm so glad that I decided to stick with my gut and the community that we're building. We're hoping to do some in-person events this year, which I think will be absolutely insane. But the community we're building worldwide, the results we're getting, like weekly, daily, we're getting wins posts, job posts coming and like being shared by the girls. Case studies, I've got like 6 YouTube case studies that I haven't posted yet from the past couple of weeks that I've got in my back burner ready to post. They speak for themselves. And I think when you truly start something with the intent of helping others and giving back to others, that's why things flourish. And I think that's why we've grown in the best possible way and quite quickly over the past year, because I know all my clients, I speak to them regularly. Then like, I couldn't imagine having a coaching program where my clients are like just a number. It's bizarre to me. My clients come to me, they open up to me, they're vulnerable with me, I'm vulnerable with them. And yeah, that is something I'm so incredibly proud of. So yeah, I think I love making this video actually. It's really allowed me to reflect and see the change and the positive impact we're having. But that is why I've only chose to work with women, and I will continue to only work with women within the Female Sales Accelerator. There's no need to be greedy. There's no need to try and work with everyone. I know what I'm good at. I know I'm good at helping women. I know I'm good at teaching feminine sales techniques and support and mindset. And yeah, that is what I will continue to do. And if you're a woman looking to get into sales and you're interested in pushing yourself out your comfort zone and achieving your dream life, there'll be a link in the bio. You can click it below. You can book a call in with myself and we can discuss a possible plan of action. See you in the next one.